Hi, this is Mashnu, and in the previous video I showed you how beautifully Magnus Carlsen can play chess in this fragment with this beautiful sacrifice. Now this time I would like to show you a fragment from a game by Vishy Anand, because these two players are going to meet tomorrow in their first game in the World Championships match in India. In this game, this fragment, Anand is playing white, and as you can see, if we count the material, Anand is material behind. He has only a queen against two rooks and a light piece, a bishop on g4. His opponent is the Chilean grandmaster Ivan Morovic, and in this position Anand shows how good he plays against the weaknesses of black. You see, normally two rooks only are more worth than a queen if the rooks work together well. But in this position the rooks are not working together, they're not connected, and white has a very dangerous pawn here on c6. And if we look at weaknesses, we see that black has a weak pawn on b6 and a weak pawn on d6. Especially this one on d6 is important. If this pawn falls, then suddenly white will have two connected pass pawns on the c and the d file. So what Anand did here is he played queen to b4, attacking the d6 pawn. Now Morovic realizes that it's impossible to save these two pawns, so what he does is he doesn't defend the d6 pawns with rook to d8, because that leads to a very passive position. What he does is he plays bishop to e2, attacking the pawn on c4. So now Anand takes on d6, achieving his first goal of having these two connected pass pawns. Morovic takes on c4, and here a question to you if you want to practice. How would you continue this game? How would you continue here with white? Do some calculations. I'll pause the video if you like, if you want to have a better look at the position. Okay, I'm going to show you how the game continued. There are several good moves. The one played by Anand is a very direct way to go for a win. He plays c7, and now black replied rook to e8. The next move is a very beautiful one. Perhaps you would like to try to guess the next move of white. It's not that difficult to guess. It's queen to e6. The queen may not be taken because of c8, queen, check, like this. If we take here, then we simply promote with check their queen, and it's almost checkmate there, because the pawn on h6 is controlling g7. So this queen may not be taken. So what to do? What black did was he played rook f to f8. So it seems like black is succeeding in defending this position, defending, controlling the square c8, so there is no promotion possible, and the f6 pawn is also defended by the rook. Now this other pawn cannot advance right now because of the pin of the bishop. So after the next move, black resigned. So this is your last moment to do the exercise. Try to guess the next move. Wonderful move played by Vishy Anand here. Okay, there we go. Anand played here simply c7 to c8, queen, promoting. And you perhaps are a bit surprised about this, because this queen can be taken. Of course black cannot take on e6, because then queen takes f8 is checkmate. But how about rook takes c8? Do you see how black loses after that? Because in this position black resigned. Let me show you what would happen. Rook takes c8, and now the beautiful move, queen to e7, threatening checkmate on g7. And if black tries to control this g7 square with rook to g8, then he gives up the defense of f6. So then queen takes f6 follows, and now is checkmate on the next move with queen takes g7. So this is a very beautiful example of how Anand finishes off this game with this c8 move that looks at first sight not the correct thing to do, but if we just look a bit deeper, we see that it all has to do with the weakness of the 7th rank here, especially the square g7 and this rook on f8 that is tied up with the defense of the f6 pawn. So here c8, and if rook takes c8, then queen to e7, threatening g7 checkmate, and after rook to g8, queen takes f6 is winning on the spot.